Come on, Omar. Come on. I gave in and fed him at 3:30. Sure as fuck I'm not taking him outside, though. I swear to God. At this point, like I said, we were in these times, you know, I didn't ask for this. Come on. Man, to covers. Did not ask for this, did I? No. So. And the covers. I remember he wanted to eat at 2 and I refused. And I fell back to sleep till 3:30. I had whopper of a fucking anxiety dream. Auntie was in it in person. My mom was in it in person. It was like early in the morning. There's a knock on the door that I ignored. And next thing I know, they're all in here, a whole bunch of people, including my aunt, my mom. In the dream, they were here to get stuff, but of course there's nothing left to get, so. Then I heard my aunt say about me, I don't want her to call the police. I don't know why they were here, but at some point I came out and I got to see my mother. And I said to her, at least I got to confirm what I already suspect. Like, you wound up in another mental hospital, right? And I was trying to get out of her when. She's like, yeah. And then I said, which one? And it wound up being one that I didn't recognize, but again, it's a freaking dream. But in its title, it had the last name of my dead aunt, the one who was always mentally ill, and my mom always feared her sisters. My mom would say stuff to me like her sisters, both of them, were trying to turn her into another name, that person, and so that could be my subconscious. I remember that woman wound up in a nursing home. She also was given electric shock. According to Auntie, it was the last resort because she wouldn't even talk, and it turned catatonic or whatnot. Yeah, whatever. I'm sure it was my subconscious saying whatever, because the name of the mental hospital was A, and then the last name of my dead aunt, who lived all the way to her mid-70s. But I was close enough to touch to my mom. And then as I other dream she hadn't seen very. This one, she's like, I'm on a new medication. And she was trying to say something or other. But then they needed to leave and get out of this house. The house was set up differently. It's found on this big table. And bigger than actually is here. And there were strangers here. And at one point, with spittle practically coming out of my mouth, I said to the woman, maybe they were strangers. Oh, what my mom had said was, I said, I never heard of that mental hospital. Oh, it's a mental hospital for patients who have guardians and conservators or whatever, you know. So like a clique and then there was someone here, I guess they were part of that, I don't know, and I whispered, I said it, like, I had trouble talking because I was so angry that all these people were here. And at one point I was like, you need to get the fuck out of here. Okay, but I said to that woman in her ear, I'm like, insert name of my aunt, a cunt, she's a cunt, she's a cunt, you know, and at one point I was saying something directly to my aunt, I think. I forget what. Remember I said, if I don't come face to face with my aunt the rest of my life, it'll be too soon for me. In this dream, I was face to face with her. Again, I have intense dreams. They're just like real life. Obviously, there's things that happen in them that aren't happy, that are all twisted around or whatever. But I was face to face within, you know, right there in front of my aunt, and I was not happy, to say the least. And then in the dream, after they were gone, or whatever, then, you know, I hadn't woken up for real, but in the dream I was enraged. They all dropped the ball. All these hospitals, including Crisis, we provided them with, Auntie got it from me, we gave them the fucking insurance for my mom's secondary insurance number, and they didn't investigate close enough to see that it covers 100%. I found out yesterday that last time I was in that hospital, they had all wrong info for me as well. Wrong address, wrong everything. They must not always, they didn't update it the last time I was in there. I'm like, that's the shelf, that's like, what do you have that address for? She's like, I don't know, I can only go by what's on here. I'm like, do they do this every time? She's like, they're supposed to. Well, last time I was in there for intoxication, but that was when I found out that my mom was limited and didn't have any more Medicare days, or so we thought, etc. Auntie should have known that, just as an aside. And she's like, I thought so, but you didn't push the issue, you just accepted it. So for months, that was what landed me in the hospital. I was devastated over that. It turned out it was a lie. They all dropped the fucking ball. I'm just sickened. This whole thing. I felt like I was just set up. It was hell. I personally would have been better off if it had just ended, if we'd lost that fucking case in summer 2015. I'd had months to prepare. And again, I wouldn't have been left a shell of a human being. I would have been brokenhearted, but this is something completely different, what Auntie's been allowed to do to me. And I'm not able to move past it. And clearly I'm not. It haunts my dreams as well. Auntie picked me up from the hospital. Remember, I called her. I was there overnight and drying out, you know. I didn't remember when it was, but that woman said X, Y, and Z, and that makes sense. That's when I was blindsided by the fact, and it was a total wrong. That my mom was now limited to only the hospitals. She was just going to be super limited, and that she ran out of her Medicare days, and it turned out it was wrong. But Auntie accepted it. Everyone just and it turned out it was wrong. And why would I think, if I provided these people who deal with this shit the insurance number, and they tell me, and then they sit there and explain sadly on the phone, yeah, this is how it is, la 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 la. she's not at a regular hospital days, it's just they treat psychiatric different, blah, 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 blah. And it turned out it wasn't even the truth. Wasn't even the fucking truth. That makes me so angry. It all makes me so angry. All dropped the ball, these professionals. Everyone except that nice primary care physician, and we were so close. Even when I bumped into the church woman, she said it before I did. She's like, we were so close because she knew my mom was mad at her. She asked me, why is your mom not like me anymore? And I said, because I made you the scapegoat. I told her that you called the police, which was technically the truth, but I was crying out to you and Auntie. And she's like, well, can't you tell her that it was a joint thing? I'm like, no, I'm the one who has to bear the brunt of this. You don't understand that she's not well. Ex-hospital discharged her not well. But she was still offering to help out my mom get back to that other place because my mom was worried about getting there and you have to take public transportation, so whatever, it's a different scenario, but so worth it. I was trying last ditch to save her. Auntie gets to step in and thinks she's going to save her and make her well again by renting out her downstairs apartment to her, and I don't believe for one second my mom should be living alone in Auntie's downstairs apartment and cooking alone, as I've said. I was trying to save her, get her away from Nurse Ratchet, get her back to that psychiatrist, real one that she had been seeing for years and really liked. And I wouldn't, because Nurse Ratchet is hostile to, I would have gone with her. I would have been hands-on. I would have, because I can explain what happened to her over that 2016, and she can't. She's not able to convey that. And I could say X, Y, and Z, And the lithium toxicity and the meds and the experiment the one doctor did with taking her off of Depakote completely that she'd been on for years and having her just on Zyprexa, and that didn't last, But again, Auntie gets to sum that up. My sister doesn't stay well for more than 6 weeks at a time. Go fuck yourself, Auntie! You are so full of